Matt Mira, I can tell you that whatever you're wearing right now, Mack Weldon is better.
Well, what if I told you I was wearing Mack Weldon?
It's better than that.
Oh, my God. That's
it's amazing. Newer Mack Weldon.
Matt, we've talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again. If James Bond wore underwear, it would be Mack Weldon.
That's right.
But we're not. It's never established in canon if he wears underwear.
That's true, I guess.
But if he did.
Do you ever see him in his underwear?
No.
Oh, that's surprising.
But he's a Mack Weldon man if I ever saw it. It's a men's essential brand that believes in smart design, premium fabrics, and simple shopping.
Listen, I've used the Mack Weldon shopping experience online, and it's incredibly easy. How easy it was? So easy. And the products are great. I'm not kidding. They've sponsored so many of mine and yours podcasts and have sent so many samples, and I really, really enjoy these products.
Yeah, I love their polo. They don't just do underwear. They do polo shirts.
Vesper polos,
There's a Vesper polo shirt in powder blue that I own. Their silver underwear is, quite frankly, the most comfortable thing you'll ever wear. The sweat gets wicked away from your balls.
Gee, Matt.
Yeah, it's true. They're naturally antimicrobial. Did you know that? They eliminate odor.
I'm really still reeling from your vulgarity.
I'm sorry, everyone, but that's what happens when you talk about boxer briefs, and great ones like Mack Weldon.
They want you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair, you can keep it, and they will refund you, no questions asked.
I wish there was some sort of deal we could give listeners so they could experience Mack Weldon too.
Matt, just go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off using promo code BONDING.
What a deal!
Matt, James Bonding Podcast. James Bonding Podcast. It's the James Bonding
What
podcast.
A special morning here at James Bonding HQ. My name's Matt.
I'm also Matt.
But today we are joined by our wives and partners in podcasting. So much so that I think maybe our wives are eclipsing us in our own podcasting careers.
Yeah, I think that's
just
fair to sign of a good relationship. You bring them up into the podcasting universe, and then you watch their star rise above yours.
That's right.
As we fade into the distance.
Yeah, and it'll fade or just burn out.
We are burning out at a rapid pace, which is why we're delighted to be welcomed by Doree and Amanda. Guys, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
In your own home.
Yeah, I just rolled out of bed.
I know, it is. It's about, we start around 10:30. I'm still in my pajamas. This is some casual weekend podcasting, guys.
It's the best way to do it.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Well, I'm great.
How are you doing in your walk with Bond?
Oh, God.
Isn't that gross?
Yes, it is.
Doree, you were the reason why we got to see Spectre early in the first place.
Yes, it's funny you say that, Matt, because as we were watching it the other night, I was like, I've already seen this. I saw it.
You're making me do this.
With you guys. And Matt was like, no, you didn't.
What do you mean?
And he was like, I saw it with Matt Gourley.
You thought you went alone?
I only remember
he had cut me
there.
out.
Oh, my God.
Cut me out of the
My memory
screening.
of Spectre was just a beautiful time with Matt.
The reason you may be confused is you met us at the theater.
Yes, but not only was I there, but I got you guys in.
The whole reason for it.
I know.
It's because, you know what, you're remembering that lovely romantic breakfast we had beforehand where we recorded at breakfast at some little cafe in the mid part of town, and then we went and met Doree at this theater on the... It was like in Century City. Yeah.
But it's also like I have a photo of you in the theater, excited.
Yeah.
And it's just you.
With the poster or in the theater? Oh, yeah, you're right.
In my brain, that's the memory, where it's just us in an empty theater enjoying Spectre.
I was there, too.
No.
I was there.
That was the
No, I was there. I met you guys.
No.
I picked Doree up, and then I met you guys there.
What is
in a year when we
reality?
talk about this episode, it's just going to be the two of us. You have not seen, Matt, you have not seen Spectre since the theater? Is that right?
We discovered this when I did a mad dash search in the house for the Blu-ray.
Oh.
And it was unopened.
And I was like, where is the Blu-ray? And I swore I bought it, and I couldn't find it. And then Doree was going to buy it on iTunes, but I was like, let me just go on Amazon and go to buy Spectre, and it will tell me if I bought Spectre. and it said, "You bought this February 1st, 2016."
And it's buried under 18 guitars in your house.
Well, then I was like, it must have fallen behind the DVD shelf. And sure enough, I looked for the flashlight, and there he was.
Wow.
Daniel Craig.
And Doree, have you seen this since the theater?
Oh, no.
And Marty?
I think I have just in the background because you have it on sometimes.
Yeah.
We may have watched it on a plane.
Plane?
A plane ride.
Really?
Yeah. What year did this come out?
Good question.
2015.
Yeah.
2015. So didn't we go on an international trip? We went to Japan in 20...
Yeah, but I can't imagine.
Because wasn't it the only... Oh, no. I'm thinking of the other one. The only movie you had on your laptop for that international
Skyfall.
flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've seen this more than once.
You saw it a few times in the theater because we went twice.
Yeah.
And then my parents came to town and my dad really wanted to see it with me. So we went to the iPic theater, and that's the one where you can lie down. And you made no bones about it. Like, lay down, they have a blanket and a pillow, and you went to bed probably before the movie even started.
I did, because it's kind of like
$40 nap.
a long movie. Yeah, and I had to go because we were with the in-laws, and I had already seen this movie, but they wanted to see it. So I put that blanket over my head, and I literally took a nap through the whole
what a
movie.
dream.
We
It was
also saw it in
nice.
the iPic with Paul.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We've been to that theater a couple times for Spectre.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how many times, Matt, you'll see movies like Star Wars, James Bond movies. You'll go to the theater like 5 times. The only movie I've ever done that with was Titanic, when I saw it a record 8 times in
You
the
didn't
theater.
even have to say that. I knew that would
Well,
be
if it makes you feel any better, I think I saw Titanic probably 5 times or something in the
What?
theater.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How could you do that
Why?
when literally at the same time Tomorrow Never Dies was in the theater?
That's why. I kept going to see Tomorrow Never Dies and went, no, I'll just watch Titanic.
I didn't realize
again.
you were such a Titanic head.
I was a huge T head.
You're a Titan, bro?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But what did you like about it? Because I was like 10 and I loved Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, same. No. I was huge into, I don't know why, I was huge into the history of Titanic for a brief time.
That's not a weird thing.
I guess,
also
yeah.
have been into the history of Titanic
Yeah.
many times over.
And I thought that movie, I haven't seen it in years, but at the time I remember being really moved by the humanity of people just dying in the ocean. Like, that was something special effects wise you'd never seen on that scale before.
Sure.
And it was really, I found it to be really gripping. I think I saw it a few years ago, and it surprisingly probably didn't quite hold up.
Honey, you're not a big repeat movie watcher. What is the movie you saw the most times in the theater?
Pump up the volume.
Pump up the
Christian Slater. I've been wanting to watch that recently. Why? Were you a big sea head?
Yes.
Careful with that
I
one.
was a big C.
Christian Slater head.
Yeah, I saw that
Slaterhead.
movie 4 times in the theater. I was
Whoa.
in like middle school, and I thought he was the coolest person who had ever lived,
Oh my god.
ever.
Well,
He was the whole thing was very aspirational, which is kind of dark.
Well, here you are podcasting out of your own home.
Exactly. I
And
am
he has
Happy
a,
Harry
like-
Hard-On.
Yes. He has a pirate radio station out of his garage or his bedroom that he like becomes this like real indie cool voice of a generation thing. We should watch
And it turns out that his dad is the superintendent of the school system, and he doesn't know that his son is the pirate radio broadcaster who's fomenting revolution in
Yeah.
the town.
He also
my
doesn't
God.
know his son with the most distinct voice ever in human history is this one person. That's
Samantha
Light.
Mathis plays the love interest.
Yeah, I had
It's
a thing for
really-
her.
It's really great.
yeah. She was at that time that was a big deal.
She was like she was kind of a poor man's Winona.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I liked her. I
Yeah.
felt like she's closer to
She's-
being in
she's
my
not- she's
orbit.
like-
You know who else is an accessible Winona Ryder?
Who?
Stranger Things Winona Ryder.
Joyce.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're David Harbour, those
Yeah.
are 2 sexy people.
David Harbour, star of Quantum of Solace.
That's right. I can't
The
wait to watch
star
that
of
movie
Quantum of
again.
Solace.
All right, let's get into Spectre.
Well, I was going to say the movie I've watched the most in the theater.
Oh, sorry.
9 times. Phantom Menace.
That's this recent one?
No, that's
the-
the one from 1999.
the first prequel
Oh.
Yeah.
with little Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I
Well,
saw Platoon in the theater when I was in junior high 8 times. 8 times.
Wow.
I know.
I think that was R-rated, Matt
It
Gourley.
was. My mom was
Interesting.
I want to say progressive, but more lazy and possibly neglectful. No, I'm kidding. She's wonderful.
Oh, Doree, you've never been on this podcast, so we've never asked you.
Yeah, right.
What's your life's introduction to James Bond?
Marrying you.
Oh, it's actually a good one.
Oh.
When I was 6 years old, my family and I went to Provincetown, Massachusetts for the summer. My mom's good friend had a house there. He was a lovely gay man. I didn't quite understand what that meant at 6, but he had a very handsome Dutch roommate. And
This story is already great.
Octopussy was playing in like the Provincetown, cinema, but like one screen cinema.
Doree, this is my first Bond movie in the theater too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, wow.
And I think my parents were just like, "Ugh, she's like too young. She won't get it.
Yeah.
So we can just take her
It'll
to see
all go over her
Octopussy."
head, yeah.
And I was like, They also took me to see Trading Places that summer. Like they really didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Great 1-2 punch of movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. That's not bad.
So that was my introduction to James Bond. But my dad he loves James Bond.
Behead.
I would. I'm going to ignore that comment.
Wait, you're a C8, he's a B-head? I don't get it. What's wrong?
He would always watch the marathons on TNT.
Oh, yeah.
And was just, I don't know, he really loved James Bond. Matt, you know my dad.
I do. Abishai Shafrir.
What is that? Does that track for
the
you?
inventor of Krav Maga.
What?
No,
we
not really.
we joke about him at work at the Goldbergs, because we're always like looking for a Jewish name, and
He's Israeli, my dad.
We always say Abishai. And
That's a
then
great name. Avishai
Shafrir.
Shafrir.
And
Shafrir.
we talked about it before in the writer's room, but there's a working theory in the family that Avishai is one of the Israeli spies, one of the Mossad.
In the Mossad.
Oh, Mossad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
We don't really think he is,
Well,
but
honey, why don't you
Wait,
tell
is there
everyone?
actually a small possibility
Yes.
he could be?
Yes. Honey, why don't you tell everyone what your dad did for a living?
import-export.
Come on. That's what James Bond does.
Yes.
Universal exports.
Why don't you tell everyone where your dad would have to travel to and for how long?
The Philippines.
He would be gone for weeks.
What would he be importing and exporting?
Textiles.
Textiles. Everything gets vaguer and vaguer as it goes. What kind of textiles?
Like this kind. Like the stuff the stuff for your sofa. Like upholstery.
Did he have a showroom, or he was more of a middleman?
He was more of a middleman.
Sure he was, because
Sure.
you couldn't tie him down.
But he would keep samples in our garage.
He would.
Our
He's
garage
got to
was
have
filled
plausible
with samples.
deniability. Yeah.
He was
Wow.
also a paratrooper in the Israeli army.
Oh my God, that's cool.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So there's honestly this whole thing where we.
But then
joke
when you
about it.
meet him, you're like, there's no way.
But that makes him perfect.
I don't know.
Yeah,
to
right.
be a spy.
I think there's something to it, because I feel like there's never a whenever I've brought it up around him or your mother, there's always they should be more playful with it, but they're they sort of
we don't joke about that.
they just have a weird sense of pride in the rumor.
Yeah, because it's so ridiculous.
But they should also be that's ridiculous.
No, that may be the
I,
they
of course,
like it.
was an import-exporter of textiles and often had to go to the Philippines and Europe for weeks at a time, leaving my small children. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Well, more on
so
this
he
story
loves
as it
James
develops.
Bond.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
have him on
Oh,
sometime.
Avishai loves a James Bond.
They're
That
in
would be
Boston?
fascinating.
Yeah,
Or-
they're
yeah.
in Boston.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, yeah, anyway, I'm glad we could discuss your father's spy tactics.
Yeah.
Well, let's dig into Spectre now. I already know that you feel this movie got worse, Matt. I feel
do.
it got a little better, but I wonder.
I'm excited to hear that.
Part of it was Amanda and I talked about this last night. It was Friday at 8:00. We made a cocktail. It's raining outside. We plugged the ottoman into the couch, which makes it like a bed. And any James Bond movie is better than, even the lesser Bonds are better than most movies.
Yeah.
So I was already like, this could be Tomorrow Never Dies, and I'd probably like it right now,
I don't think that's true.
But I enjoyed it up to a point. I think
Yeah.
that's the problem with this this one, but
No, we watched it together. I came home and it had started. It was, in fairness, I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched, but I did watch literally from Bond in his apartment.
You started late?
Yeah, because
Well,
I got home and
I
she
was
had
already
started
watching.
watching.
Oh, wow.
And I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
You know what? I don't need to go back and watch a cold open.
Yeah.
And then get angry about him blowing up Mexico City.
I thought you were going to say you didn't watch the ending, which you'd probably do yourself a favor to knock that third act out. That's the
end
problem.
of this movie. So many things. So many things to discuss.
Well,
Anyway, I look forward to you guys' opinions on this because Matt and I have now done 2 podcasts about this movie.
no, we've done 4
Okay. So
What?
we've done 4 podcasts.
because
about
we
this
did
movie.
3 when it came out, and this will be 4th. This is the most covered James Bond movie we've ever done.
Why this?
Because it came out, it was the only film to come out during the run of James Bonding. So we did, like, the first time we saw it, we did a revisit. I think we did one with Paul Scheer.
Yeah.
And then this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also did once we did an hour and a half on the 10-minute press conference
That's right.
announcing the cast.
We did. Effortlessly, I might add.
Oh, we didn't mean to go that
No,
long.
yeah.
But we just did. But now that Danny Boyle's on board, I feel like we're going to have quite a few podcasts for everybody out there.
I'm excited. Except, it just occurred to me, small tangent.
Okay.
So if you guys don't know, Danny Boyle came in. They had a script already done for the next Bond, and Danny Boyle came in and said, I'll do it if I can do this idea with my screenwriter, and if he turns out something I like, I'll do it. So it's a totally different idea. They're throwing the other script away.
Whoa.
My only concern is that it's some Trump-era-based story. Like, I just don't want it to be tied to this kind of climate and Trump style. Like, that's my only fear, is it's going to be that. But then it's probably more
You're afraid
likely
it's
that
going to be too woke.
No, not woke. I mean, too, like, based on a idiot, pseudo dictator or something. But then probably the Purvis and Wade script was more like that anyway. Maybe that's what they're throwing out. I don't know.
It is interesting how I remember watching Spectre in the theater and thinking about the whole threat of the surveillance and the constantly being watched and the, George Orwell of it all. And it's so funny how, like, now watching
And here we are.
like, nah,
Yeah.
I love that. Bring that back and get rid of this guy.
I know. Same with Quantum of Solace. Was all about water, and there goes South Africa's water.
Yeah.
It's the crystal ball of our times, the James Bond.
James Bond franchise. So
Truly.
All right, let's dig into this.
everyone look out for Chinese broadcasting rights.
Oh, God. The cold open, the famous quote-unquote one-take cold open.
I love how you qualify it every time.
Well, you can see the seams. In fact, what did I say last night?
Well, you had me guess where they were changing the camera.
And wasn't that fun?
Oh, I love these games.
I'm not so bad, am I?
I mean, Friday
wasn't
night
hard.
at home.
It wasn't hard to guess.
Let's
I
play
mean,
guess the one-take camera cut scenes.
So what do
You
you guys-
abide a
What
lot.
do you guys think of this long, lengthy shot through a parade?
It seems unnecessary. But by the same token, I did enjoy, like, this movie is so campy, and I enjoyed, like, the campiness of it.
Yeah.
Because we have, well, I don't want to skip ahead too much.
It's okay.
Oh, you can skip wherever you need to skip because that's the beauty of this.
But,
podcast.
like-
we've all seen it.
The Day of the Dead
Yeah.
parade,
Uh-huh.
plus the whole situation in Rome, is just, like, so over the top.
Yeah. The Rome thing was originally going to be a masquerade ball.
ooh.
So it's gonna be-
See,
Even more.
they're parallel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
The situation in Rome meeting the meeting.
Yeah.
The meeting and the Monica Bellucci seduction.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
The totally, like, extraneous Monica Bellucci.
Yeah.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
but we talked about this last night, that she's one of the very few secondary Bond girls in a film to not end up dead.
That we see.
Right. But the last thing we hear is that she's going to contact Felix Leiter and get taken to safety.
Yeah. But you never check in with her again.
That's
No.
true, but I feel like Felix got the job done.
Yeah. And I think that if they would have checked in, it would have been to show us that she's dead.
And David
Yeah.
Harbour also probably helped out.
Oh, I don't trust him.
And the daughter doesn't end up dead either.
No.
No.
Oh, she will.
But, well, we'll see.
Yeah,
See,
I
this
know.
is
Now
the
they've
thing.
thrown the script out. Who
The
knows?
theory was
Yeah.
that they were going to do, the next movie was going to do kind of a reboot of On Her Majesty's Secret Service where she's killed, like Tracy, his wife, was in the original one. And that seems to be probably the script that was getting thrown out, because that was also leaked at some point.
The whole script was?
No, the outline, the fact that it was going to be a reboot of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I do wonder what they're going to do now. And I also like, because you can have Danny Boyle on board, but like Daniel Craig also has to be on board with this, right?
He's on
Or
board.
is he just like...
He wants it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wants whatever Danny Boyle wants.
I
is
think
what we're saying.
they came into Barbara Broccoli and said, we like this idea, whatever it is.
I'm a real behead.
A real behead.
Yeah, I love Barbara Broccoli.
Yeah.
Well, I like the opening sequence of the Dia de los Muertos. It makes me want to go to Mexico City.
Yeah.
But the helicopter thing for me just like...
The first time I saw it, I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. But now this time watching it, I was like, oh, wow. Like,
It's because we're 2 gin and tonics in
Yeah,
on a
I
rainy
was-
Friday night.
I was really feeling kind of the movements of it. And when the helicopter
Yep.
is twirling and stuff, I thought this could be an interesting, like, VR theme park ride.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're talking about theme parks,
Right?
I just
Yeah.
want to plug my friend Matt's beautiful new posters that you can purchase. It's the Live and Let Die Stunt Spectacular. Matt has drawn a beautiful illustration of what that Stunt Spectacular would look like if it was at Six Flags in the mid to late 70s. Matt, where can people get
Oh,
that?
stop it, Matt. Go
Come
to
on.
mattgorley.com, which is also a new website I've developed just for this purpose.
There you have it.
Matt, stop.
Listen, I'm
Stop.
just here to plug.
You can get different sizes, a metallic and a luster finish.
And I have
as
to say,
crazy as
these
it sounds,
new-
I recommend the metallic. But
Yeah.
Whoa, those are really cool.
Oh, thank
These
you.
new
Can we
prints,
get one?
honestly,
Sure.
God, these new this is so much better than those first samples you got.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I agree.
I 100% think. Honey, would you like to really see it? Because I just have to talk about how beautiful it is.
Oh, Matt.
That
hopefully-
is really
I mean,
freaking
come on.
This is the best commercial
I
for
know.
your work.
I didn't know this was going to happen.
This is beautiful.
Oh my
now,
God.
this is my favorite part here. This throne. This is where she sits and does the tarot reading.
Yeah. And is tricked into losing her virginity.
Yep, by James Bond, who stacks the deck with the love tarot card.
Oh
The
my
lovers.
gosh.
Yep, and that's a Kananga balloon,
Matt.
which is the second worst part of a James Bond movie.
You
second
are
worst.
very talented.
Dory, thank you. That's sweet. I don't know.
There's also a hidden Margot.
Honestly, I thought
Oh, that's
she was
right.
talking
That's an
to
exclusive.
Me, and then when she finished the
You
sentence,
are very
when she
talented.
You are very
finished the sentence, I
talented.
was like, oh, it's back.
You are very talented as well, but I don't see a poster in front of me that you have created.
There's no proof.
I'm now looking for the hidden Margot.
My goal is to put a hidden Margot in any one of these that I do. It's fairly well hidden, though not impossible to find.
Oh, it's in there.
Oh,
Well, I guess you've found the hidden Margot.
Well,
for
I guess
everyone.
you just told everyone what
Oh, no!
Margot is.
Yeah.
Another
Right,
part I
Matt,
got to
you're right.
cut
You
out.
have to bleep it. You have to bleep it.
2210. Okay.
Good job, Matt.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I couldn't guess.
You didn't.
That's true. The only one.
No, there's multiple. And technically, I'm not going to go into further detail, but technically not where I said she was.
This is going to be the most work I've ever had to put into editing an episode.
GoldenEye will always be that for me.
Oh, no, you're right. That one took hours.
Okay, so the helicopter scene. I do like the wherewithal to grab the ring.
Yeah. Did we talk about this last time when the helicopter does a flip? The music is such that it feels like it's either referencing the slide whistle in Man with the Golden Gun or is just as poorly
Cued.
cued. Yeah. Because when a helicopter does a flip, the music kind of goes, and there's this really infamous scene in a Bond movie where this amazing stunt happens, but John Barry puts in a slide whistle when it happens, and it makes it look really wacky, and it just goes. And so this felt like a nod to that in some way or something. I don't
Sure.
know, or like just a bad call. I don't know.
Worked for me.
So this is the first time we see the Spectre logo since what, Thunderball?
Gosh, I don't know.
I think so. I'm just gonna say yes since Thunderball. And, as a fan of the Bond franchise, I'm kind of like, oh, this is exciting. They finally have Spectre back. They're really going to use it up. But, as it becomes clearer and clearer through the process of watching this movie, they trying to tie everything together is the biggest mistake they've made.
Do you guys want a little inside scoop? I have something.
I love an inside scoop.
Sure, I'll take it.
All right.
I'm not going to say no to a scoop.
I'm a real eyehead.
Sit back for a second. My understanding before when we talked about this was that the John Logan draft, he was the first person brought on. Purvis and Wade are these screenwriters for James Bond that have been with the franchise for a long time, pre-Daniel Craig.
For years, we've been blaming a lot of bad things on them.
But then recently we've sort of changed our tone, thinking maybe they were responsible for some of the better stuff. But now, here's some evidence back to the original idea. Okay. So in the Sony hacks, remember when North Korea hacked
Oh my
Sony?
God.
Yeah.
They leaked the Purvis and Wade script of Spectre, the one that we see, but it was prior to many different drafts. The ending was different. Blofeld had a female Irma Bunt. That was her name. Sidekick, like a lesbian one, kind of hitting on Madeline Swan. But this is John Logan's original script draft, according to MI6, the website we used for the Timothy Dalton third movie draft. So here are some notes from the script, and they actually seem pretty good. Okay.
Oh, follow-up to that.
Yeah.
I think I can get my hands on the script for that third Timothy Dalton movie.
Oh, wow. Please do.
I know the guy. I know the brother of the person who wrote it. I've discovered.
Wow. Okay.
So,
you got to get that.
We're going to follow up with that.
Okay. So here were the things that were in the original draft of the script. The Day of the Dead opening, the Rome meeting and car chase, the Mr. White scene, the Austrian spa and plane chase, the North African train ride, and the finale in London. But the details of these sequences obviously changed considerably. Okay. Here are some details of Logan's first draft.
Okay, by the way, I want to say each of those set piece things, I like each of them.
I didn't as much. Some of them I did, but
You don't like the spa? The spa's where Madeline Swan works, right?
yeah, I liked that whole scene in there, but the airplane chase and the car chase in Rome felt like written in the script, like car chase, plane chase. There wasn't anything
I see what you're saying. Sure.
dynamic about
Sure.
them or something.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I like when he pushes the little car with his big car.
yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Doree, I liked it too.
Yeah. And the Fiat, just glides into the
Yeah.
parking space.
Clink.
But
I
then it
really like
dings
that.
And then the airbag goes off, and this one, she gives a real chuckle to that airbag going off.
It's pretty
Then it
funny.
did its job.
Great physical comedy.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, here we go. Interestingly, the whole MI6 team are in the field for the opening sequence. Bond is posing as a cage fighter in Amsterdam, where he is fighting a man named Valenti.
Is this John Logan's draft?
Yes.
Wait, so this is instead of Day of the Dead?
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
he switched. He put in Day of the Dead himself on a second draft or a third
Okay,
draft.
so this is
This
there's
is
no Day of the
pre
Dead. This is
Not
pre.
yet.
Okay, got it.
Sorry,
Okay, so we're in
should have said that.
Amsterdam.
Yes. Q is posing as Valenti's medic throughout the fight. It all leads to a grand boat chase. Valenti is essentially the Sciarra of the script. However, Bond does not kill him in the opening. Instead, 007 fakes his own death and escapes.
Okay.
Bond re-encounters Valenti later in Rome at a masked ball. Okay.
All right.
The Blofeld reveal also happens during the opening sequence. You don't physically see the character. Instead, you witness Bond decipher a book code which yields the name Blofeld. Apparently, the sequence had a tinge of World War II Enigma machine about it, which I'm into. I don't know where you guys are, but I just needed to say that.
No, we love an Enigma machine.
I'd love to know more about this, and all the studio execs are in agreement that the name reveal is terrific. Okay. Logan introduces the idea that there is a mole within MI6, with even characters like Moneypenny being under suspicion. Apparently, this would have led to paranoia developing back in London with the Allies being picked apart, especially Moneypenny and Tanner, who are said not to get along. Additionally, there is no reference made to Franz Oberhauser. It would appear that the half-brother nonsense came about during Purvis and Wade's run at the script.
Motherfuckers.
In Logan's draft, Blofeld is an African warlord with a grudge against Britain going back to the colonial days. It would also be revealed that Blofeld's real name is Joseph Kiembu. Chiwetel Ejiofor had agreed to play the role, but I had always heard that he was going to play C. So maybe that he was attached and they had to change it to C when they got off this script. In the first draft, there is no plane chase in Austria. Instead, a reference is made to parkour on skis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
It would seem that Mendes had a rather different plan for the iconic henchman role. In the final film, we got Mr. Hinks. However, in the Logan script, we meet a black ops CIA agent named Charlotte. She essentially fills the role that Hinks plays in the final film and turns up at all the intervals he does. In other words, references made that it is her who finds the dead Mr. White in the chalet, chases Bond in Rome, and is involved in the Austrian plane chase.
Kind of into that.
Charlotte would have started the film as Bond's ally in Rome, only later to be revealed as a Spectre operative. During the ski chase, Bond would give Charlotte a, quote, iconic wound to her face.
Oh, cool. So she'd come back with a scar.
She's the scarred person instead of Blofeld. Almost done
I
here.
think you can have multiple scars, Matt. You don't
Yeah.
just have to have one. It's not like they're giving you one scar per movie.
That's true. Bond had a scar in the book.
That's true.
It should also be mentioned that there is no reference to Oberhauser, or, quote, nice eyes. I don't know what that means. In fact, Blofeld's scheme involves blowing up a NATO base in the first draft.
Okay.
Also, Logan did an additional draft that switched Amsterdam for Mexico City in the Day of the Dead. The big difference here was that Moneypenny would have been involved and suffered great wounds that led to her going to the hospital. The general consensus was that Logan's second draft was worse than the execs imagined, which of course paved the way for Purvis and Wade to return. I like that there's no brother angle.
That's one of the big dumb things about the movie. It's one of the albatross stupid.
Why do you guys not like the brother angle?
It's too coincidental, it seems, or like it's too unbelievable that all of the three prior movies were orchestrated by Blofeld just to get revenge on Bond because his father loved Bond more.
Fair.
That's fair.
Also, the other thing too is it winds up being just like Austin Powers Gold Member. Where you find out that Dr. Evil and Austin were siblings.
Yeah, which is parroting parody.
Yeah, like it's just
Right,
snake
yeah.
eating
And the
tail.
reveal was also a reveal that, like, people compare this a lot, like Khan in the new Star Trek movies. You're only being revealed as a sting for the audience because
plot wise, it makes no sense to.
Blofeld
The people
means
of Star
nothing
Trek,
to
right.
anyone in this world, this
Yeah.
new world.
Right.
Like, for him to go, my name is actually Blofeld, only has a resonance to people that know the James Bond history. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know it that well, and I know the name Blofeld.
Yeah.
But I feel like I understand the impulse to want to like take it more personal and make them brothers, but it's really not like addressed that much in the movie, and
No.
they don't seem to have any chemistry, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't really. It doesn't add anything. I kind of agree. Although I do like that they look alike.
Interesting. But they're not even real
adopted
brothers.
Oh,
Yeah. So Bond's...
but still, they kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I guess Bond's parents die in a climbing accident in Switzerland, and then Oberhauser takes in Bond. He's a family friend or something. And then little Blofeld is jealous because this guy likes Bond better, and so he kills his father in a fake avalanche or something. Mm-hmm. And then goes on to devoting his rest of his life to basically being the author of all of James's pain and doing this whole espionage thing he wants to do.
The side hustle.
Yeah.
The espionage side hustle.
So apparently it was Sam Mendes' idea to do the brother thing and
Sam.
and retcon all of the prior movies.
Yeah,
It's
that was
his
lame.
fucking fault.
I think so.
It's the worst
According
thing
to
about the movie.
MI6 or something. What?
It is the worst thing about the movie, as far as I'm
But
concerned.
why when we first saw it were we fine with it?
Because we got all the things we wanted.
Yeah.
We sort of got to ignore the larger plot strokes because we wanted all of these things. We wanted him going on a mission. We wanted him having gadgets. We wanted... we were excited to have Blofeld back in any capacity.
Yeah.
We liked the love story with Madeline, which I think still works.
Yeah, I like their scenes together. It's hard to believe they developed this deep a tie
Right.
in that amount of time, but
Yeah.
their scenes together are pretty good, and she's really good.
Although I
think.
will say that I sort of enjoyed their relationship more this time.
What do you guys think about that? Their whole arc.
I love it. I think it's great. I think she's so good and
Yeah.
so pretty. He's so hot. I can't complain. I mean, it does seem a little fast when she's like, I love you.
But no,
When
this time
yeah.
it occurred to me that I know she probably does love him, but is she doing that to kind of like see if he's still there, to break him out, to like kind of say something drastic because he's just had his brain drilled?
Yeah, no, I think it's meant to be sincere.
Yeah.
I like their relationship.
Yeah.
I think the scene in the train is really great.
I do too, yeah. That's a good one. Boy, has there ever been a bad Bond train scene?
No, there hasn't.
Because also the fights in trains are amazing because they're close quarters.
Yeah.
And the article...
And it's moving.
Yes, that's right. I know. It's literally forward moving. Phil, our man in the East, Nobel Jr., wrote a great article on Birth Movies Death about what's to like about Spectre, and it's all about that train fight, which is really good.
Yeah.
That's a set piece I love, and I felt like the kind of energy that had was lacking in the car chase and the plane chase for some reason.
Yeah, that's definitely a really special sequence. It drives me crazy, though, when people don't get to drink their drinks.
I know, or eat their food, right?
Yeah,
That drives you
It makes me
crazy.
so mad in movies. And also, I will say, in this movie, you never see Bond eating or drinking,
so funny.
really.
I said the same thing.
Really? Because that's what I want out of a Bond movie. I want to see him
Amanda,
ordering a steak.
You are speaking my language. I said the exact same thing to Matt, and Matt kind of defended him and was like, he does too eat.
I want to see those meals.
He doesn't.
That's what's so great about Casino Royale is after the thing they sit down for a meal and he's like got food in his mouth when he's talking and he's,
Yeah, and I want to see more drinking, more eating, and honestly more of the sex scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even see him and Monica Bellucci like actually doing it.
I know. Yeah.
They could have lingered a little bit
an
more.
actual James Bond.
Well, sometimes you get too much, like in Die Another Day, there's a scene, a montage love scene with Halle Berry, and like you get to basically see Brosnan's whole rapture face, and it is uncomfortable.
Oh, no, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But I think, so this is the most recent Bond movie that's come out, right? It feels like they were trying to be, I don't know, like they were trying to be a little bit too woke. For a Bond movie.
Well, Bond movie has trouble with that because it's history.
And it's good that they're trying, but it was
also it's rated PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Notice
most
too,
of them
like
are?
when Hinks pokes out that guy's eyes, there's barely any blood.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be a messier thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of like the point of it, right? Is that he's able to kill someone and just has to wipe his little thumbs. Like that's all.
He doesn't kill him until he snaps his neck.
That's true.
He just pokes his eyes out.
Yeah, but you'd think there would literally be kind of a gross, goopy pop with like a little.
Ew! I know there was no sound effect.
Because there's no blood in there.
I like that.
There was no sound effect when he broke his neck either. Usually you hear that kind of like.
A creak, yeah.
What on the food thing? How did you feel when he refuses that digestive shake? I bet you were pretty pissed.
I liked that he didn't drink it. Yeah, I would have gobbled that thing down.
Yeah.
Look
At
good
the
to
I
spa.
me.
know. Look, she makes us these green.
Matt has one right now.
I mean, it's amazing. It looks exactly like the thing, except you're missing a celery stick.
But what was that spa? So it's a spa, also like a therapy center?
It seems like it's the Golden Door, which is like...
That's where my dad used to go.
Oh, there you go.
Wait,
That's
what?
Seems like it is.
The Golden Door.
Yeah, where he got one toenail painted every time.
Yeah, he'd come home. So
That's so Bond. Remember?
Yeah, my grandpa had like a bunch of kids, and every year he was like this big lawyer in Huntington Beach, and he'd take all the sons to the Golden Door, and all the wives would have to stay home, and they were so angry because they never got to go to the spa.
Sure.
And so then all the men would come home. I just knew my dad would just go away for a week once a year, and he'd come home with this. We'd be like, Daddy, take off your shoes, and he'd show us his one golden toenail.
Yeah.
And we never
That is
really
so
understood
weird.
where he had been.
That is so weird. And for our wedding, remember you made me get my one and only pedicure manicure, and so I had my
We got him a golden toenail.
for
as an homage.
homage to your dad.
But I don't know that there was mental health services there at the Golden Door.
I thought it was
just
more-
They'll just sort of work you over. You pick out your workouts. You pick out your
I'd
relaxing.
never heard of this thing.
I thought this was more of like an old school sanatorium.
Yeah, like a
Like
high end.
out of Hesse.
What?
Like out of Herman Hesse.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a high end rehab wellness center. Or
High in
something.
the Alps.
Yeah.
Remote. You go there to like recover your mental and physical health.
Do you think it's like where
Your
like
faculties.
they would send a Harvey Weinstein now?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
If they'd have them.
Have you guys seen The Night Manager?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
I feel like there's a similar
Yeah.
thing in that miniseries, which is really good.
Oh,
I know,
it's
it's
so
great.
good. If you haven't watched that, you gotta watch
I know,
that.
but you know what? I made the mistake of reading the book after watching it.
Oh, yeah?
The book is like 5,000 pages
Yeah,
long
yeah.
and has like so many more just like extraneous detours and
Oh, I might have to do that then.
It's-
Have you read any of his other books, Le Carre, right?
I'm trying to remember if I've actually read them. My dad really
Love this
likes
guy.
John
I'm a big
le Carre.
A-head.
Surprise, surprise.
It's a little on the nose, don't you think? I mean, come on.
suppose.
If you were really a spy, would you like sit around all day reading spy novels?
He's always carrying one with him. He got a red carnation on his lapel at all times. By the way, I think this might be a controversial opinion, but we saw Red Sparrow, and I really liked it. It seems like a lot of people have not liked it, but it's got a real nod to Rosa Klebb in it, and it's kind of
It does?
a huge element of the film is a Rosa Klebb type character, and it's. I think a lot of people liked Atomic Blonde, which I didn't care for, and that's kind of like comic booky and superhero. This one is real slow burn, more Le Carre, and I really liked it quite a bit, and I thought I'd recommend it, but with no obligation for you to enjoy it, because I guess a lot of people haven't, but I did.
I have not seen it.
If you like bangs, you'll love
Oh, I do like bangs.
her. Bangs were doing all the acting.
Okay.
I see.
We should talk about the song very quickly.
Is it true that this is the only Oscar-winning Bond song? I'm trying to remember.
No, Skyfall won.
It did? Okay, I had
Yeah,
it wrong.
you
Not
were
even the- it's not
confused
even
then.
the last one. In,
Yeah.
They went back to back with their movies.
They both won?
Yeah, Skyfall
Wow.
won.
Okay,
Adele,
well,
Adele and Sam Smith.
Smith.
Terrible song.
Yeah.
This song is not good.
You like it, though.
I really like the one, that good part of it that plays like during the love scene on the train and stuff.
Yeah.
But I agree, it's missing a catchy chorus.
Totally.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate it?
No.
I can hear right where that chorus needs to be. It's right after the first musical moment and then after that trail off
Yeah.
part. It just needs a romantic hook or something. It needs an all-time high, you know?
It's hard to follow Skyfall.
The plot? Oh, I agree.
Listen, I'm going to say something about the wokeness of James Bond. I do appreciate that they asked a gay man
Certainly.
to do the song because it's such a hyper masculine
Yeah.
movie.
And I like
They
Sam
don't
Smith.
care about that. They think they're more like, are they the hottest pop star we can get
That's
right
true.
now? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
But still, it's good.
Still.
Equal opportunity.
Because then I
hottest
think when
pop
he
star.
won, he gave some sort of like political speech.
Oh, he mistakenly thought he was the first gay person to win an Oscar.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
And then he
really?
kept getting corrected
Oh, right,
by
time
one of
and
the
time
guys,
again.
like by like Ian McKellen. I was like, no, not at all. You're not at all the first gay guy.
That's
Oh, I
really
thought I
funny.
was.
But he's the gayest gay guy.
Yeah, so,
Maybe
yeah.
that's what he
fair.
meant.
Sure,
Yeah.
at that Academy Awards for sure. Yeah, so the song, the opening title sequence is okay.
It's okay, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The Judi Dench popping up was a nice surprise.
I like that.
like
M's
that, too.
lapels. Come on.
Again, I'll say it every time he's in a movie we're watching, but no one's got better posture than Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, Matt has that kind of posture because you have that little sway back. So often you stand like that with your hands on your hips.
I do more and more these days.
Yeah.
I'm getting busted by it. But
I mean, just to feel like he just...
I think he is so handsome.
isn't
I
it?
agree.
I
yeah.
felt like I was making you jealous last night on how much I was talking about Ray Fiennes.
Not jealous. I mean, I fully support it.
He's so charismatic, so dashing.
So dashing. Those
I
blue
regret-
eyes.
Yes. So you're more into him than Daniel Craig?
I do not find Daniel Craig attractive.
Really? Doree, what is it about him?
He's got that smushed face. He looks like a boxer.
Do you find him charismatic at all? So
You don't see that swag when in the very opening sequence.
I guess
I said this last night. Like, I would feel like such a nerd walking around in that suit with that skeleton mask on. Like, the way that he's able to be so confident and like lean into her in the elevator and then move away is so astonishing to me, because I would be humiliated to be dressed like that, and then also have to be sexy on top of it. But he's just so confident.
I think he has the confidence of a man who underneath it is wearing a $7,000 Tom Ford suit.
That's fair.
Yeah, that couldn't hurt.
That's true. But even when he goes out of the window, when the girl's on the bed, and he steps over that railing in a way that I've never seen before, it's so smooth. It's like the footage has somehow been manipulated.
I think he does move. He does move the smoothest.
Maybe he and Connery.
Yeah. He's also I like that he's built like a bulldog.
Yeah.
I like that about him. I like that he's like a stocky sort of build.
Yeah,
I also
and I don't
enjoy
think
that he's exactly my height.
Oh, he
Big fan
is.
of that, yeah.
I don't think I'd pick him out of a lineup, but when it's something about him in motion is like really like incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have gone with that parkour on skis.
I know.
Yeah,
What would that
really
be?
great.
What would that even be?
I don't know.
Would he run up the side of a tree, do a flip, and land on a snowboard?
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's just storyboard that now.
Okay. All the could have, should have, and would have beens of the Bond world, man. I just hope heaven is a place where you get to see it all.
It sure does, man. Right next to all your dogs that have died.
Yeah, never owned a dog.
Oh.
It's going to be lonely up
A
there.
lot of cats will be there, though.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So this whole thing with C coming in, whatever. It's a fine sort of thrust. I guess the real plot. What is the plot here? They want that.
Well, Blofeld is using C as a mole to get his whole surveillance thing into operation of all the international governments.
Doesn't make sense, though, right?
Also, what's never made clear is what exactly is in it for C? Is he getting paid a lot of money? No one ever really says.
He says, why would he do this? And he goes, he's a visionary like me. So it's an idealistic sort of...
But see, that seems
I'm not
flimsy
defending it,
to
I
me.
know, but yeah.
There's not a lot of human stakes. It's like the surveillance system, which is obviously that's no good. But it's not we're going to blow up the world or
Well, they do that, but it's very secondary. And you find out after the fact that they're inciting terrorist events to make this thing happen. So you're right.
You never really see it.
Here's my real question, though, right? This thing going online seems to really have no bearing on Blofeld's own ability to pull up whatever camera he wants in whatever city he wants anyway.
Right.
This whole thing going online, I think, really has it is meaningless.
Yeah,
because he's that room that he walks into, and I'll get to that when we get to the end of the movie because it's ridiculous. But they seem to be able to pull whatever information they want anyway.
Right.
He just wants a third-party data collecting center to save on his bills. What does he want? I don't understand it.
These Bond movies have a knack of doing that. Your first watch, you don't really question the plot because you're watching all the set pieces and stuff. But on a second watch, when you really try to dissect it, they almost never hold up.
Yeah.
And this is a case of that.
It isn't. Well, I think,
this is a case
Tomorrow
of
Never
it.
Dies holds up. That's a clear... He just wants exclusive broadcast rights in China for 100 years, so he wants to start World War III. Very clear.
Yeah.
Very clear.
That old
The
formula.
cleanest of the plots. Best movie ever made.
One of Joseph Campbell's myths.
All the way back to Shakespeare.
Also, wait, going back to C, does anyone watching that movie not
Think
know
he's
that
evil?
he's evil from the
It's the
first
worst
second?
casting.
Yeah.
It's the worst casting. He's Moriarty, right?
Yeah. And I was telling Amanda last
so it's
night. Ugh.
what are you doing? Casting him.
Yeah, it should have been a woman or something, a nice 50-year-old woman.
Or maybe
he's just evil from the second you meet him.
Right.
He's off.
But I wonder if they were trying to do a reverse red herring where they're just this is a bureaucratic asshole. And so in the end, it's too obvious, so it won't be him. But than
Yeah.
it was. Like, are they doing a double blind kind of thing or something? I don't know. I'm probably giving it too much credit.
I think you're giving it too much.
It would have been interesting if it was like one of M's children that became
That's kind of an element of Ibrahim Mustafa's one-off comic Solstice, the one that we're in.
Oh my God.
Is, well, I don't want to give away too much, but it's so good. And M's daughter is compromised in a way.
Does M have children?
Yeah. She mentions it.
She does?
She mentions it like twice in the span of the. I think she mentions it in the Pierce Brosnan, and then she mentions it, I believe.
You're not talking about her husband?
Well, her husband is seen and then talked about.
I don't remember her
she talks
referencing
about her
children.
Yeah, I
Talk
believe
about
she
having
talks
it
about her
all.
children.
Career woman.
Double shift. Talk about the double
does.
shift. God.
Yeah, but we don't know if Mallory does.
Oh, that's true.
He's got a few out there.
Oh,
You think?
yeah.
Does he have a
think.
wedding ring on? Like, what's his persona?
He's got to be married.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Although he does seem like one of these married to the job types. you
Yeah.
know?
Huh.
Yeah. Again, also when they meet him at that like cool little restaurant to
Yeah.
get the info, who does he meet there? It's
I
like,
feel like I've been in that
And
pub.
Moneypenny and
yeah,
Tanner.
and he's just got that glass of wine and then just like leaves it and they all run out without they don't even order a drink. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, let's see a
Well,
dinner.
they're trying to save the world.
I know, but you're
You gotta stay
From
energized.
Blofeld having a more reasonable data plan. Like, that's essentially what I've developed this plot into in my head, is that he's trying to save money by having a centralized server.
But that being said, I think the first 2/3 of this movie are really pretty good. That it's really
No,
I do think that.
no, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't think you actually think that.
I do think
you're
that.
tricking yourself into thinking that.
I don't think that.
It's
I
like
think it's
smoking.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't actually enjoy the cigarette.
well. While you convince me, I'm going to go feed the cat because I can hear her
Oh.
annoyingly meowing.
It's not a Walther PPK. What is this? It's a Walther feed the cat.
Yeah, pee kitty.
Oh, there we go. So, Margot has an auto feeder. Oh.
Oh,
she's really hungry.
I'm sorry.
Don't bring her in here. She's deaf for Dory.
Hi.
How do you think Bo and Margot would get along?
Bo would try to
Yeah.
hunt Margot.
Really? I don't know. Margot is a worthy opponent.
Bo is also afraid of leaves. So I think, Bo like talks a big game
Yeah.
and like chases squirrels, but like I feel like if ever a squirrel turned and charged Bo, he would run away so fast.
Oh, yeah.
So fast.
She's a killer. Are you feeling allergies?
That might have just been a cough.
Yeah.
Just a stray cough.
Could have been
A
psychological
coincidence.
cough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. If my eyes start watering, then I will be feeling allergies.
Okay.
So
I think you're gonna
I think
make
I'm
it.
okay.
I think
Some people don't respond to her, but
yeah,
Yeah,
I also
also-
don't have severe cat allergies.
just like
And
Yeah.
I've like come home from here after like 6 hours, and I've like held Margot and like.
oh yeah, no, that wouldn't affect
Oh,
me.
okay.
you'd have to like touch her and then touch
Yeah,
her
it's.
face.
I often notice it if I like end up sitting on like a couch where the cat hangs out all the time. I'm like, why is my throat scratchy and my eyes watering?
Yeah.
But just being in the same house as the cat is often not enough to like really trigger
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Is there? You say, Dory, you don't find Daniel Craig to be the sexiest man alive. Which James Bond is for you?
You know, I was thinking about that because I knew
great.
you were going to ask.
It's a great question, Matt. We have a big answer coming up.
Okay, this is exciting.
Asking who Dory finds to be the most attractive James Bond.
I think I would go with Pierce Brosnan.
Wow. I agree. He's sexy. When I was a
Thank you,
kid, I
Amanda.
really liked
He's
him.
very dashing
He's
and manly.
He is so
Manly.
and suave.
He's very suave. But I still like Daniel Craig.
I feel he's lacking the confident core that he's putting all of that on a little bit. Yeah. Something doesn't ring true about it.
Interesting.
Oh, that's because you think that he's not Remington Steele.
That I think he's not Remington.
Because isn't like isn't he a ghost? Like isn't he the persona of Remington Steele in the show?
Yes.
Isn't that the series?
Yeah.
Like, he's not actually
Yeah.
the guy who writes everything?
Yes.
So he's, he probably brought a little bit of that into James Bond.
I suppose. But look, I don't know. Everybody should like who they like.
No,
You
he's
like who
very
you like.
handsome. Dale
Thank
Craig,
you.
though, I mean, just come on.
Just like you're free to like the first 2/3 of this movie, Matt. Why do you think I don't like the first 2/3?
Because you really don't. Think about it, Matt.
I do.
Okay, let's get into it a little bit right now. Smart Blood. Defend it.
Don't like that.
Okay.
What's wrong with Smart Blood?
It's too techy and futuristic, and I don't know.
I do like anytime he gets a little shot.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
it hurts.
It's also too close to what they did in Casino Royale, where they put a little chip in it.
hate that whole sequence.
At Q's little underground lair.
No, not that sequence. I'm talking about the end
the
of the movie.
torture
Sorry,
thing.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, the end of
torture.
the yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I hate
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Yeah, okay, so the Smart Blood so we can be tracked. Okay. The Aston Martin DB11? DB10, rather.
Don't like any of the Aston Martin stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like all those jokes with the music and the gimmicks and stuff. I don't care for that Aston Martin. It looks like a shark.
You don't think it's funny when he tries to like shoot the car behind him and the ammunition's not loaded? I thought that was hilarious.
Is this a little bit of the problem that we all have had many times over with him hitting the couch when he falls?
I guess it's to do with the fact that this movie has some tone problems as well. When they started introducing a lot of humor into Daniel Craig's films, it didn't feel right to me because he's just come from the scene where he's met that his brother's alive after this many years, and there's been some real gruesome death, and then suddenly we're just into bits. It doesn't follow.
What bits?
The
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra music, the little Fiat or whatever it is.
But that just really made me want to fucking meet 009.
I know.
What kind of a toolbox is 009
Yeah,
that he's
I
like,
know.
I need my Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, I didn't mind all that. I do agree the car looks like a shark, which is not ideal.
It's not the best looking Aston Martin, I will say.
Is it matte? Is it like a matte gray? Is that why it looks more like a shark, or is it
I don't think
shiny?
so.
I think it's just a shiny silver. They only made 5 of them, I think,
Oh, jeez.
for that movie. And then they skipped it, like production-wise, they didn't make a DB10. They only made it for that movie, and now there's a DB11 that looks a lot like that.
The car chase is the first place in the movie where I start to feel like, something's a little off here.
The car chase is much longer than it should be.
It's just kind of
Well, he has to get that phone call in.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's
It's that
what it is.
they're sticking an
That's
exposition
exactly what it
scene
is.
into a car chase when it should. That totally takes the piss out of a car
What
chase.
what happens?
He's
in
on
that?
he's on the
She's
phone with Moneypenny, and
He's
they're
like,
doing
"Can you look up
investigative
these?"
work.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you concentrate on a car chase?
But honestly, that's me in my car every day. I call it my mobile office.
But you're not speeding through the streets of Rome with a big guy chasing
You don't know what she's doing out
You
there.
don't know what I do
Really?
day to day.
Oh my God! Let's
When I say
meet
I'm
you-
going to Trader Joe's, you don't know what
She's
actually
going
happens.
to meet her contact, Trader Joe.
Trader Joe. Do you have a cigarette?
Okay, so the ejector seat.
Don't like it.
Okay,
I'm feeling that.
That's too wacky.
I like it though.
You do?
Well, it's not that I like it. I like the attempt to color Daniel Craig's James Bond a little bit with that kind of stuff.
But
might
in the
seem out
same
of
way
place.
that they've had to adjust Bond to be more sensitive to like social norms and like you said, being woke, I think you have to tailor the comedy to the bandwidth of Daniel Craig's movies, and they're not wide for comedy. Like
I
you
would
can't-
like to know what movie caused this problem. This is a problem that we've seen in Star Wars,
yeah.
that we've seen in James Bond, and I feel like we've seen it a couple other times where it's just this
I think it's Guardians of the
I was
Galaxy.
just
Guardians
gonna
of the
say, I
Galaxy,
think it's
too.
Guardians of the
I think it's
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I
The
also
problem
think
is
it's Guardians
adding
of the
this
Galaxy.
kind of like straight comedy into these
Yeah.
serious action movies that are supposed to kind of be a little kitschy, but not like this kind of.
Well, especially Daniel Craig's, you're supposed to believe this is real. Like that's
Yeah.
the draw of it.
And Casino Royale did it so well, where
so
there was
well.
such brightness and like some levity and stuff, but it wasn't goofy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that came on the heels of Brosnan's films, which were goofy and they kind of fit his world, but the thing was a conscious choice of let's get back to life and reality, and then they always creep it back in.
Yeah, the campiness of it all, it's interesting, the attempt at doing it with Daniel Craig. The whole Rome scene, I don't know that this movie looks that good.
I like the way it looks.
It's so yellow. Everything's yellow.
Yeah, I didn't like the color
Yeah.
timing, but I think the cinematography's pretty good. But yeah, there is a lot of yellow color timing in this thing. It's weird.
Yeah. So they leave. Okay, my favorite scene of this movie is Mr. White.
Yeah, I like this scene.
That
a
is
lot.
my favorite scene in the movie, when he goes and tracks down the Pale King.
And that is a connection to the prior movies that I think really works.
I 100% agree. And if you could somehow not have...
Well,
I mean, if you just had Mr. White being involved in Spectre, I totally buy it.
It works for two reasons, because it's satisfying because you never knew what happened to that guy.
Yep.
And it connects them in a satisfactory way that's believable. You know?
Yeah, totally. 100%. So, what did you think of that scene of Mr. White?
The one in the chalet where he's all by himself, he's dying of thallium poisoning.
Oh, yes.
Do you guys remember him from Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace?
Oh, yeah.
Doree does not.
I don't think I've seen Quantum of Solace.
That's probably very true. She hadn't seen Casino Royale until like a year ago.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Do you like this one better or Casino Royale?
Oh, God. I don't know.
You like Casino Royale, I think, better.
Okay.
Wait, how long had you guys been
Putting that
together
on you.
before she saw this?
Before she saw
Casino
Royale.
Royale.
Like, literally, she saw it last year. I made her watch it last year.
So how long were you together?
Like 3 years.
So you guys went 3 years without a first date?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes. 3 years. 4 years? 3 years?
I don't know. I liked that. I like that.
You like what?
I like the Mr. White scene.
Oh, okay.
he's a good actor,
I didn't know
too.
what you were talking. I really didn't.
I like the Mr. White
I
scene.
had lost my brain. So funny how that new Mission Impossible trailer
I know.
is almost beat for beat this
Yeah.
movie.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's even a guy in
And he's from a previous movie.
previous movies
Yeah.
who's like telling Ethan that he doesn't know what he's up against.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, but I love those Mission Impossible
Yeah, I do too.
movies, the new ones. They're
haven't seen them.
so good.
You got
You
it.
haven't seen
haven't
them?
seen them.
They're up there with Casino Royale, the new ones.
Wow.
They're good.
I put them up there with the best Roger Moore ones because they're real fun.
They're
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah.
Can you guys explain something to me?
Certainly.
Why was the Pale King in exile?
Oh, because he had gone against... He
he had a
worked for
crisis of
Blofeld,
conscience.
and he had said, I don't want to do this anymore because you're killing women and children. Like, I just want to do this, kill spies and do all this stuff. He was involved in nefarious things, but he didn't
Sure.
want to kill women and children. And so Blofeld basically said, if you're not in, then they poisoned him with this radioactive cell phone battery poisoning.
Where'd he get the IV drip?
I
That's
don't
a
know.
great question.
Wait, okay. Sorry. When did he move to the chalet, and when did the poisoning happen?
We
Dory
don't
needs the
know.
backstory.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They
he's
said
in-
a month or two ago, yeah.
So Mr. White, right? This guy, Mr. White,
Yeah.
is in Casino Royale.
Okay.
All right.
And Quantum.
And Quantum of Solace, but he is essentially the guy who sets up the whole getting Vesper, torturing Vesper, getting her to work for Lashif.
He runs something called Quantum, which was originally basically just Spectre, and I felt like that's what they were trying to do. But then it's like Quantum is now a subsidy of Spectre.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So then Casino Royale ends with James Bond shooting Mr. White in the knee
Okay.
and taking him into custody.
Okay.
Brings him into custody, and then Quantum of Solace opens with a big car chase to get him to see M. They get Mr. White, put him in a chair, and then all of a sudden one of the MI6 agents is there and is actually working for Mr. White.
And
then
Quantum
you see,
is
and Mr.
everywhere.
White, you see Quantum is everywhere, right? And then and it's got one of the best M lines ever. Is she says, they have people everywhere. A lot of people just say that, but these people actually have people everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like something to that
Yeah,
effect.
it was pretty good.
And Mr. White, you don't see what happens to Mr. White, right? So he's gone for the rest of Quantum of Solace, and then all of Skyfall, he's gone. And then we see the next time we see him, he's dying And he's in
Okay,
a-
but it looks like he's been there for years.
Oh, I think he's just in a dusty chalet. I would guess timeline-wise, he's probably been there since Quantum of Solace.
And
I
what
don't
is
think
this
so.
chalet, and who set up that camera?
He set up.
Well,
the
he
camera.
did, and I
He's
think that
watching.
IV is chemo. I think he's there. He's been there a couple months, but he knows he's dying, so he doesn't care. He doesn't go upstairs much.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
Postmates his
I was
foods
curious about that staircase and how I would have liked to see him handle that.
Well, I'm curious about that staircase too, because if you really look at it, it is clearly an aftermarket staircase that is built. It's built like a Disney castle staircase or something. It's winding and wooden, and there's no sense to the logic of building it other than this should look creepy.
It looked creepy though.
Yeah.
This is house renovator Matt talking right over.
I love it though. I love the way it looks. It's kind of diagonal and jagged.
Yeah,
and-
it's cool.
It's like a dungeon staircase.
So this is where he finds out that Madeline exists, and
Yeah.
he says, "I'll protect her."
And don't you like this stuff?
I love this.
Yeah. So why aren't you in for the first
Oh, is this
2/3 of the movie?
2/3? Is this in
Certainly.
the 2/3?
Certainly.
This feels like it's
2/3 goes all the way up to
Probably when they arrive at the desert.
Yeah, that's when the last
establishment.
Act,
Oh,
so
Matt,
all the train.
I got to apologize.
Okay.
Because the first 2/3 of this movie are very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I have to apologize because in my brain, the first 2/3 of this movie exist until he gets to Mr. White.
Oh no, we're
Again,
probably
the movie
not even
is 2.5
halfway through.
hours long.
That's true.
So it's one of those.
Yeah.
It feels like it's longer than it is.
Yeah.
I
This
have
mo-
another question.
Certainly.
Yes.
What is it? The Quiet American? No, that's
L'American. L'American.
L'American.
Get to America.
Are we to assume that secret room has just existed for an unknown amount of time with no one else discovering?
We wondered
This was
that
my
too.
question.
And how long has that room been
I think
there?
what
Without
happens
people seeing it.
Oh,
is that every time her parents would go there, they'd slam through that wall, use their secret room for a month or two, however long they're there, and then re-drywall when they left.
I don't know. I think it's more likely because Quantum was so overarching and
Yeah.
spreaded that they basically own that hotel.
I agree. I think he
and
owned
it's
that
just
room.
a secret safe house that also
Yeah.
fronts as a hotel, and that room is never used for anyone else but them.
Okay.
That's why they could get in
White.
there so easily, just dropping by.
Yeah, I think
Why?
that's.
Yeah. Otherwise, was there a young bridal couple in there?
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's Mr. White's room. I think he owns that room.
How did they know which room to ask for?
Because Madeline's
Because she's been there.
Oh,
been
she
there.
was like, "Oh, this is the room they always had."
Yeah.
But she doesn't remember. She was never allowed in that area.
I guess.
Oh,
not.
I think
Yeah.
there was a secret door that they just
Yeah.
couldn't find. So
Oh, I think there was
Daniel
a secret
Craig
door
burst
that
through the
where
wall.
he bursts through. When you see it from the reverse angle, is actually there's a door frame there, and it's like maybe when he knew he was dead, he
dying,
sealed it up or
sealed it up.
something.
Okay, I'm into that
But
idea.
we still don't know how long it has been since the last time someone was in that room.
Well,
correct?
we do
It's
a
pretty-
little bit because he has the Vesper Lind tape.
Yeah,
He has the Vesper Lind interview tape, which is Eva Green from Casino Royale.
his first and only love.
And the amount of dust on
The
that
woman he
large
loved the most.
computer
Right.
would
But wait, what
say
does
it's
that
been a
have to do
few
with the
years.
secret
Yeah.
room?
It's in the secret room.
Oh,
that
it's
tape.
in the secret
so
room.
you know that
I
that
see.
room has
Oh,
been used.
I see. Okay.
Or does that
Casino
dust come
Royale.
from him busting through the wall?
We'll have to get a dust expert on.
I got one.
How's your dust dar?
It's not as good as my wig dar, but
That
Is
was
your
a
wig dar going off at all in this movie?
no,
Okay.
I don't think there are.
you couldn't
really...
identify a wig? A
Well, I
single
could.
wig?
I'm just saying I don't think there are any.
What about James Bond's brother?
I was just going to
Blofeld.
say.
Oh no,
Blofeld.
absolutely real hair.
That's not a wig. It's
No.
so blonde though.
He's blonde. No, that's absolutely a real hair. Real hair. 100%.
I
That's
think
a
it's
real hair?
possible Monica
100%.
Bellucci has some like extensions.
She
going
might be
on.
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
and
he's
that-
never
Those are
claimed to have
extensions.
extension dar.
I don't
Yeah.
know when she takes out that little rubber band, and then
but
shakes
she's
her
always
hair
had
out.
long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's like, how old is she? 60?
Yeah, so she had some clip-ins.
she's 50 in this, I think.
Yeah, I think she had some clip-ins.
Maybe.
I agree.
but those
I don't
aren't
cl-
wigs.
And I don't
technically.
claim to know that. My expertise lies around the hairline. That's
Yeah.
where I can
I
tell.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where it really
she
is.
is so beautiful. I love that scene when
gorgeous.
he. Well, it is all. Yeah,
I like that scene too. And it made me think of an idea for a future in between episode. Because how do you guys feel about the way he says Bond, James Bond in this? She says Mr. and he goes Bond. and then pauses James Bond, then kind of takes a bite out of her lip. We need to rank the Bond James Bonds.
I
Oh,
love
that's
this.
great.
I love this idea.
Yeah,
This is a great idea. Write that down because
I
we're
got it
always
right
going to
here.
want to.
right here.
We're always going to be like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
we
a
might
good
even have to do
idea.
that this week. We don't know.
that's right.
Okay, so Monica Bellucci, by the way, I think she's gorgeous, and I liked having an age-appropriate person for James Bond. Finally,
Yeah,
I
that was
agree.
great. And she's she's way sexier even than Doctor.
then
Dr.
Madeline
Swan.
Swan.
Yeah, she could have
I
been
mean-
used certainly more in this film. I think
Maybe she'll come back.
maybe yeah.
Now I got to talk about James Bond's chalet outfit.
Well, outfits in general we need to talk about. Before we even get to that, though, real quick, how do we feel about this cursory Vesper Lynn tape, and they don't do anything with it? And I understand they're kind of making a point like Bond's like, I'm done with that. I don't even want to see it.
Yes.
But there is something of like, I could have used another moment of him just kind of going,
Well, I think it was to remind you because later in the movie, the whole thing of like everyone you love, I take away,
Yeah.
everyone you love dies, and he's just now falling in love again with Dr. Madeline.
yeah. But I just wish there was some at least acknowledgement of like, I want to see this through for closure, or now it's personal for me. You know, I don't know. There was just something missing from that revelation that there's a Vesper Lynn tape, because that was everything. That's his entire motivation in these movies.
I think a little bit. I think it maybe even just a longer pause.
Something. I'd love to see that tape. I mean, not because it's probably
it's
violent,
horrible.
but just I want to know
Interrogation
more
of
about
Vesper
that.
Lynn.
Anyway, so sorry, go
yeah,
on, because
no, no.
we
The
have
clothes.
we have some questions about clothes.
Well, I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My favorite outfit is the desert jacket at the station waiting for the Rolls Royce.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my favorite
That's a
outfit.
good one.
I like her outfit there too. Is really cute. Those white slacks. I got to get a pair.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing we recognized was she is taken from this spa in
I noticed
Austria.
that too.
And then they're on their journeys, they change clothes 3 to 4 times.
Yeah.
So they must have had a hell of a shopping trip somewhere in there, and I would love to
Let's see that.
I know, this.
Oh yeah, she has like a gown on the
Yeah.
train.
Yeah, he's got 3 different outfits. He's
Yeah.
got a linen suit. He's
I
got
would love him to just like pull out the Universal Exports American Express and
Yeah.
go, it's on me.
Oh God, yeah, what a dream.
I bet, because he shows up in Tangier with that amazing jacket too.
Yeah.
That one I really liked.
Yes, that is a great jacket.
Yeah.
But I don't like his ski chalet outfit.
It's kind of goofy. The pants.
Yeah.
And
with the boots being so big and the pants being so tight.
Well, they're definitely doing it on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
I know.
Nod there.
I know.
I kind of, for some reason, I liked it.
I like it too.
Okay.
It's very
It was.
60s ski.
It was goofy. The silhouette of the pants were kind of oompa loompa, but
That's
I
how
still liked
when
it.
they go camping in I Love Lucy, Ricky has pants like
Yes,
that.
he does.
Yeah, and he has that kind of like flannel
Fisherman
plaid
hat,
hunting
yeah.
cap
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of just rests on top of his head,
Uh-huh.
and then a little waistcoat jacket. It's pretty great.
That's funny. But I don't like his sunglasses in that.
Oh, those like
they're out of control.
ski
They're out of
sunglasses.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but letting no light in, I get it. You don't want any reflection there.
He turns to Dory.
Very practical.
Yeah.
I have all of his glasses in these movies.
You don't have the ski
except for
glasses
those
though.
Ski glasses.
Oh,
I'm wearing
yeah.
the
I smell a
Tangier-
birthday gift.
These are the ones he wears. These are the ones he wears in the at the end of the movie. These are his
Sunglasses?
desert. Yeah, they're
Oh.
sunglasses, but I popped out the lenses and made them eyeglasses.
Oh yeah, those
Those
are
are
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
These are your
Wow.
Tom Ford Clubmaster ripoffs.
Wow.
Anyway,
I-
Paul Oberhauser's wearing Tom Ford's also.
Did you call him Paul Oberhauser?
Isn't that his name? Paul?
Franz.
Franz? Why did I call him Paul Oberhauser?
Wait, who's Paul
Where did
Oberhauser?
Paul-
Where did Paul come from?
I don't know.
Why did I call him Paul Oberhauser?
I don't know.
If you would ask me, I would have put $1,000 on the fact that his name was Paul Oberhauser.
Oh God.
Who's Paul? Paul
idea.
Oberhauser. Is that a person?
No.
No.
The only
I'm
thing I
sure
can
it
think
is
of
somewhere.
We've had a lot of Pauls. We've had at least 4
We've had
Pauls
a lot
on
of
this
Pauls,
show.
yeah, but that's not what it's coming from.
Wow. Huh.
I have to say, I love her white dress and her little matching white heels.
Oh,
It was very Vesper Lynn when she's going
Yeah.
to get the money out.
so
Yeah.
graceful.
Yeah.
I loved that whole. I just want a little like silk wrap dress. Is that too much to ask
No, it's
for?
not. I
It's
don't
totally,
think you should treat yourself.
it's totally like $4,000 though. That dress.
Well,
I'm sure it is.
My father-in-law's into textiles, so
Could you please?
if you need
Put
me
in
to
a
get
word.
you a nice ream of silk,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I could sew that together in a day.
I wanted that dinner jacket, of course. Let's just talk about it because you're here finally, honey. We got married before
Oh, here we go.
For
Oh,
Matt
God.
and
Here we
Amanda.
go.
before we were at the vows of the Martys.
I'm sorry, Dory.
You know, I said to you, honey, I would really just be delighted if you would let me wear a white dinner
worn it
jacket
this morning.
with a red carnation at the reception. I wasn't even going to wear it at the ceremony. I was just at the reception. I was going to change into a. And she says to me, "No, why do you want to wear that?" And I was like, "Because it's very classic James Bond. He does it in Goldfinger. He does it. I didn't know he had done it in Spectre yet because that wasn't out, but." She says, "No, you're not cosplaying at my wedding." I say, "Fair enough."
See, the mistake you made is I started with, I want to dress like a stormtrooper at our wedding.
No, and then
brought
he
it
took it
down.
down.
He took it down.
And he does have
That's-
a full stormtrooper suit.
Let's
That's
not talk
the
about
smart. That's the smart move. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's just we get to the beautiful mid California wedding of Matt and Amanda, and we're sitting outside. It's a breezy, beautiful day. The sun is shining.
It was
It's
freezing, and raining.
It was
and
freezing
Hey.
It
and
was
uncomfortable.
horrible.
Guys, I'm painting a picture for the audience. It was chilly, but I
It was
love
so
wasn't
chilly.
raining.
I love
It
chili.
rained for a
little
second.
bit. Yeah, but that's good luck on a wedding.
Yes,
day.
Oh,
yes.
that's true.
So we had
But the setting was.
oh,
It was.
it was
Thank you.
the
It was
magistry
nice.
of it all. Majesty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was beautiful, and we're sitting there, and of course, first out of the gate, we got Matt. Matt comes out, and I look, and I see, oh my God, honey, that motherfucker
Is cosplaying at
is
his own
wearing
wedding.
what I wanted to wear.
Wait, Matt, you hadn't told him that you were going to wear a
I
white
think I
dinner?
had.
No, I don't think you had told. I don't think we had discussed that you were going to wear it. I know we've had the discussion about
Yeah.
that jacket many times, but not that you were actually going to wear
I guess
it.
probably because we hadn't done the podcast for a while
Yeah.
up to that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you staged that photo to say that
Yes.
it was coming back.
That's
Right.
right. We staged a photo at your reception.
When we got all our wedding photos back, that was like the last one. It was like all of our
There's like
gorgeous wedding
14
photos
of
of
those.
Matt and I, and then it was like Matt and Matt. Like, I'm sure the wedding photographer was like, I guess I'll just put this one in.
Yeah, sure. You had
I
to.
told her that when we did it, I said,
Yeah.
I need this for promotion for this podcast
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah.
But you were wearing it, and I was very jealous. And but hilariously, I said it to you, and then when I posted a picture of the two of you on Instagram, the fourth person who commented said,
Yeah.
"Oh, looks like Matt got to wear it."
Then the fifth, then the sixth, then the
I didn't
seventh.
know I was allowed to say no. And also, it was never, I loved how it looked, but also it was never pitched to me as like a James Bond thing. It was
I
just,
know.
I'm going to wear a white
That's-
dinner jacket. And I was like, great.
Because
That's
the
where I
honest
messed
truth
up.
is that I liked the look, and I actually would not choose to, like, as you know, I'm not the type that's like, I'm going to dress like James Bond or anything.
No.
I just really liked that look. It was circumstantial. Probably the reason I liked it was because of Bond and Temple of Doom, but I just really did like the look. So
Am I the only one here that watches The Real Housewives?
I have watched it. I'm not current on it, though.
So in one of the Beverly Hills episodes, one of the housewives throws her husband, who's British, a 0040 birthday party,
What?
which I
You
did
didn't
for
tell me
Matt.
that.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and it's so insane. They get a yacht,
I
and
bet you it's like their take on it is probably
it's honestly,
I wanna
it
see
wasn't
this
like too
episode.
far off from what I did for your 40th birthday. I mean, it's anytime you're going to do like a James Bond birthday, it's kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they had like the
inherently.
rented casino tables,
Yeah.
and I mean, they were on a yacht, and they did take a helicopter to another yacht, and then a speedboat to the yacht where
what?
the party was.
Oh my
So in
God.
that way, it was.
What?
So it was
It
a
was-
3-yacht party.
Yes, it was a little bit.
I would have been
elevated.
motion sick by the time my party started.
It was a land, sea, and air party. You had to travel.
Wait, I
many
want to
ways.
see this
was.
episode. This is finally we could watch this together.
Oh,
Are you 35 this year?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Oh, Matt did it.
No,
I
you
know.
could-
We could do. it's not like Matt has a monopoly on
No,
the James
you
Bond.
should do it.
I would love to go to one. Are you kidding? Please do it. Please do it.
I can wear my gold jumpsuit again.
I can wear my wedding
Excited about
outfit.
it. We
You
should
could
do
wear your
it.
wedding outfit.
No,
yeah.
he gets to wear your wedding outfit.
that's
No,
true.
you know what? That
That's
would,
true.
that would honestly be my excuse to finally buy
Yes.
the gray Skyfall suit.
Oh,
The
nice.
Tom Ford Skyfall suit.
You should get a boat, definitely, and throw.
No, we're not
No,
doing
I would.
You're
Get
not
I would
yacht
get
And also,
I would
by
get
the
motion
way,
sickness.
Oh,
I
that's
would.
terrible.
Oh man, wouldn't it be fun to do a full-on Hold'em tournament for my birthday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With,
We
like,
could all
5 or
dress
6
as the
tables.
Casino Royale, like, characters.
Let's do it.
That would be
This
so
sounds-
fun.
You guys are definitely invited.
I'll be Lashif.
This is 5 years from now. We could be 300 episodes into this podcast. by then.
Why don't we just do it this year for your 35th?
Yeah, why don't you?
It's a milestone birthday.
Right.
But it's my third. Well, I think I'll be at Star Trek convention.
So it doesn't have to be like on your birthday.
Oh, it doesn't have to be
Star
on
Trek
my
so
convention?
true.
You don't want to waste your birthday on something nerdy.
It's in Vegas.
You want to do James Bond.
That's right. That's right. All right. Let's figure this out. Maybe we can get Matt to finally attend a birthday party for James Bond themed that is not his.
I would love it. I would love it.
Okay, back into this movie. We're
You know,
talking
one
about
of the places this movie really loses me is the damn sequence where he takes the ring and is able to assess on his laptop every
All the DNA on
arch
it?
villain.
Yeah.
And so all of those villains have touched this ring. Does that mean like when they give someone a ring, it goes around the circle and everybody touches it?
It's
Why?
like the Vice rings.
Yeah.
Do you know about the Vice rings?
What am I thinking of?
No, Vice, like the
Vice,
Vice News, Vice whatever.
The
They
company?
have rings.
What?
Yeah.
So
was
when
I
you
thinking
become
of?
like a made man at Vice, they give you a gold ring with
Oh.
a Vice logo.
God.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why? How are they
How can that
simultaneously
be-
doing
No,
some
no.
pretty cutting
How is that
edge
surprising?
investigative journalism and they're also a cult? God damn it.
There's a lot going on over there. It's really a fascinating place. But yeah, it is the DNA fragmentation on and by the way, only specifically them. I feel like you'd get like 14 other people
Exactly.
in the database that would show up.
It also implies that one of them was the jeweler that made that thing.
Wow,
What
you
if
guys
one
are
of them
really
was?
poking holes in
Yeah.
this hole.
What if one of them
Who would it be? Who's most
situation now.
likely? It's got to be green.
I feel like Lashif has the patience.
Oh, I feel like it's green. I got to look something up while you guys are
Okay,
talking
he's
about
finally going to
this.
look up this ring. Okay, so but I do like. Okay, so I guess we're sort of at the train now.
Okay.
Yeah, the train's all good.
I love the train.
The train was great. I love how it looks.
Did you like the Bond trying to show her how to use a gun?
Yeah, and then she's like, and it's like, oh, she knows.
But like, also what I like about it too is she's a gun safety advocate to the end because she just, even though she empties the chamber, she still shoots it up in the air and not at James Bond.
Yeah, she knows what
true
she's doing.
gun safety.
Well, she's
Yeah.
Mr. White's daughter. Come
Of
on.
course. Now, here's my question. When she talks about the 9mm by the bleach in their house when someone came to kill Mr. White, are we to understand that that was Blofeld that came to kill her?
It must be because
that came
why?
to kill him.
It's
Yeah.
confusing.
Follow up to that. She pulled the trigger. She shot White. She shot Blofeld, rather?
That's what it seems like. Otherwise, why would they have Blofeld say that at the end? Like,
Right.
I've been to your house. It's too coincidental. So I think that's what
They're implying.
they're implying. Yeah.
So
It's
weird.
not clear.
This guy's everywhere. Here's my new James Bond. Here's my title for this movie. Everywhere and Nowhere.
Yeah.
Also, who is
Yeah.
her mom?
That's a good
She's-
question.
Yeah, we don't know. She's out there somewhere.
Yeah,
She's living?
and I mean, is she
think
though?
so.
She must.
is
she
she,
must
though?
know so much.
Is it the Bellucci of it all?
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Once
Yeah.
the divorce
Yep.
comes.
Because why else? The mom must be in hiding. If Madeline
Right.
knows, she's got
She
to be
must
in
be.
hiding.
Yeah.
So either she's in hiding or she's probably dead. Or
Yeah.
she may have died a long, long time
That's
ago.
true.
Yeah, we don't know.
Growing up, though, the daughter of an assassin, this is sort of, it actually clicked in my head this time watching the movie of the connection that Madeline and James must have, really, because she really is the only person that can sort of
Yeah.
understand.
He's her new daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
If she says she doesn't have daddy issues.
I mean, it is kind of like, she wants she's going to get the love from James that she didn't get from her father.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But she had the love from her father.
Yeah, I mean,
It
we
seemed
see
very
the
clear.
pictures at the American.
Yeah.
He had a couple of photos of her. I wonder if those were real photos because the one where she's like a bad teen, like lounging on
That's
the bed, and you
totally
see her
her.
midriff.
That's gotta
Yeah,
be. I'm Googling what she says when she's in the bed to liars and killers everywhere, and there doesn't seem to be any consensus what that's from.
Liars and killers.
Because someone here
Liars
says
everywhere.
it's
but I don't
literally
know that she did get the love from her father that she needed because he continued to work with them until she was an adult, and then took himself out of the race. But I think she was neglected a little bit.
probably.
Yeah, but I think he would show up every so often and take her on shopping sprees
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
for silk dresses and whatnot.
I like that dress. It's very beautiful. on
Beautiful.
her.
Dress.
Yeah.
She's got. It fits her very nice.
Yeah, she's got a great figure. I like that she's not a stick. She has a little bit of curves.
Oh yeah, I'm into
I
the
mean-
curves too, Amanda.
Yeah, I'm
Well
into
done.
it. I'm loving it.
Matt
Matt and I, real curve guys.
We're big sea heads.
Oh no!
Amanda and I are big sea heads. You're looking, Matt Gourley. You're looking so confused at your
I
notes.
can't read one of my notes. I don't know. P-A-U...
Paul Oberhauser.
Paul Overhauer.
Power wheels.
Active. Pause article. Oh, got it.
All right.
Phil's article already said it. Yeah. Okay.
Good. Glad I
we
took the time.
figured that out.
Sorry.
Okay.
I like the idea of this villain lair, but this is really where it falls apart. What it becomes.
Okay.
The torture sequence.
This is where my notes started.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Here's my questions. I have some questions for the end here. Why send Hinks to kill James Bond if your ultimate goal is to get James Bond to your lair?
Yeah.
Okay, that's question number one.
That's
Anyone?
Is the goal to kill him at the lair, or if they had killed him earlier, that would have been cool too?
Maybe that would have been cool too.
Also, maybe Hinks went rogue.
Oh, maybe
yeah,
Hinks
because
went out for revenge.
Hinks'
Yeah.
original mission is to kill the Pale King, not to kill Bond.
Yeah,
And he gets the Pale King and he's already dead.
Yeah.
but then shouldn't he be like, sweet.
Job finished. Oh, but
Then he
no,
sees the camera,
and he's
so
actually
he knows Bond has been there.
just going to get Madeline Swan as a loose end, and he's actually just fighting Bond because he's just trying to get Madeline Swan.
I don't buy it.
No, it's true because he's able to watch that video footage.
Yes, I know that.
And he knows that there's another loose end. He's got to go get her because he shows up at the clinic
But
and
they know it's in. I guarantee you, it's in the Spectre dossiers that there's a daughter.
well, it doesn't matter because he eventually goes to the clinic literally to kidnap her. That's what he's trying
But
to
he
do.
followed
but
James
he's
there.
kidnapping her, not killing her.
Well, they had that needle. I also liked when she put that needle in that.
Oh, I like
she
that
stabbed
too.
That guy
I like
with the
that
needle.
too. But what was that needle for?
But we also don't know
Knock
that
her
he's
out.
trying to kill
Yeah.
Bond. He may just be trying to capture him on the train.
Capture him.
He seemed pretty
Nah,
intent on killing
pretty
him.
intent on killing him.
Yeah, he was going to
That's how
throw
I
him out
feel.
of that train.
Okay, here's a couple questions I have for the end
Okay.
of this movie. How does everyone working on the computers know when to stand up in unison?
I thought it had been rehearsed.
Okay.
Like
No.
when I turned the lights down, everyone
Yes.
stand.
I
Yeah.
thought it was he's on his tablet basically sending out a company-wide memo. Please stand now.
They're all on Slack.
Yeah.
and then like I love the moment where Bond so like he's yelling at Madeline, don't look at it, don't
Yeah.
watch, look at me. First time I actually noticed that she does actually listen to him and is looking at him when
I liked
the
that.
gun goes
Yeah.
off.
You didn't notice that the first time you saw it?
I guess I really sort of absorbed it.
It didn't
I
hit
guess.
you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't hit me like
Yeah.
a bullet through the brain. But I feel like there was an actual moment before Bond got there of Blofeld saying, "Okay, as soon as I say the word beauty, cold cock him, but not before. I'm gonna say this thing. It's gonna end with beauty."
Now?
No, okay. I'm gonna say beauty
Now.
Yes. So just see, he's gonna be by you, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna give this long speech, all right? And I I'm going to say a lot of different words. But it's the second I say beauty.
No!
Yes! Yes!
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Yeah, I mean, that is, watch that movie again, and it's just, that's insane.
It is ridiculous when they all stand up. I mean, it is.
Yeah. It's so weird.
It is hard these days to believe there is a giant army of people working for a rogue villain, that somehow there are never any leaks or anything. Like, these people are just...
Have you read about Russia? Hello.
I know.
That's true.
There was that whole there was like a whole secret building an organization of like hackers and disinformation
But
people.
we know about it.
We know about it now, but we didn't know about it at the time.
Yeah.
He also probably just drilled into their brains and hypnotized them.
Oh, that's probably exactly what he did.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, here's my follow-up question now. Do you think it was that guy, the cold cocking guy?
Now.
Yeah. Yes. Or do you think it was the guy who offers champagne?
I like that guy.
Okay. Do you think it was him who was in charge of choosing everybody's headshot?
Yes.
The big photocopy
Definitely.
event.
Definitely. That's his guy Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
His man Friday. He does everything. He's with him in the helicopter at the end. Poor guy dies. I like that guy. I feel like I would have played that part if I was in this movie.
Those little headshots at the end are just ridiculous.
I mean, it's like, now they're like, okay, so here's what we have to do. Sorry. Thank you, by the way, for being my cold cocking guy, but here's now what I need everybody to do. We're going to go to London. We're going into the old MI6 building, and we need to restore power to the shooting range only.
But this is only after the destruction
now,
of our entire
what's
lair.
going to happen is the lair that we're in right now is going to be destroyed.
No, that whole MI6 thing was planned after the destruction of the lair, as a sort of like, we got to do something. That was not the ultimate plan.
How? How did they do that?
They were thinking on the fly.
I feel like art
That's why-
department got like 5-minute notice to print those things, and they were like being printed in a trailer right before they did the scene.
You're right, but I think that works because that's what Blofeld and his gang are doing.
but
Like,
it's
we don't
also
have
like-
time to paint a portrait.
And then
we gotta,
why is Madeline tied up with all those red
those
wires?
are the detonation
Those are
cables.
dead cords, yeah.
She's going to be
Right.
It's
blown
going
up.
to be blown into many pieces.
I know,
like
but then
that.
he gets her out so fast.
Well, I mean, he has a pocket knife.
He cuts them.
Come on.
Okay, yeah.
They're not like wires that, like, if you cut the red wire, the whole thing blows.
Yeah.
They're just dead cord. Like, they're just going to blow up.
Okay, I'll have to read up on debt cords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some pamphlets. if
I
you
have
want.
my afternoon
We have a
free,
bunch
so-
of pamphlets on cold cocking and debt cords.
Yeah, I mean, this is unquestionably where this movie really falls apart.
This is okay. So Scooby Gang, I enjoy it. Right, we're all enjoying
Hildebrand rarities, though. Come
Hildebrand
on,
Rarities
come on.
is just
That's so good.
It's a little love letter to people like Matt and I.
Yeah,
It's a safe house that not even Tanner knows about. Honey, I feel like we're losing you here.
No, you're not losing me.
we're real close, guys. Hang on, we're real close.
We're finishing up here. Now, bringing it back to that MI6 building, I just, the whole thing, I guess my biggest problem, who wired that building to blow?
Well, that's already been done.
That's been done
yeah.
because they're going to detonate it,
Yes.
right? So essentially, they just found more cord and tied it around Madeline.
Or just took some that's already been there.
Sure. And I guess why put James Bond's face on all the things in the shooting?
It's so goofy.
range?
It's so
dumb.
goofy.
In many ways, that is the goofiest part of that plan.
I get it. I mean, he's fucking with him. He wants to torture him.
But it's not that scary.
I
It
know.
feels like something I would think of for something I'm writing and then be like, no.
Yeah.
But
You're probably right because they were judging by the stuff I'm reading. They are so down to the wire that they probably had this idea and then just like, that's it. We don't have any more time. We got to do this.
because it's something you put it in and then you're like, yeah, but I'll make it better later.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like they just didn't because they could have done something scarier. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Even it's strange to see studio notes making more sense than the script writers themselves. They're like, there's no real emotional heft to this. Where's the twist? It's not really that resonant to see him in MI6 with these
I mean, and if you're
pictures
saying that this guy is his brother, isn't there something else, like some secret we should learn about James Bond
Yeah.
or like something with the father who raised him, like something scarier and more
Yeah.
personal and higher stakes than just like your face like on these figures and then little printouts of
These are the faces of other people, huh? Huh?
Yeah, clearly didn't work for Christoph Waltz because he's not coming back, you know.
Well,
He's
maybe
not?
now with the Danny Boyle thing, that changes. Who knows?
But that was before. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he's not coming back to play Blofeld.
Why?
He just didn't have a good time. He didn't like it. He didn't like how it turned out.
Oh,
Well, he's right.
He didn't like his wig.
He didn't have a wig.
Oh, Colin,
That's
your
too
wig
bad.
dark.
All of that being
Where's all
said,
the
I
Fritz?
still like the ending where he walks off with Madeline
that's
Swan, though.
good.
I like that as well. I love him being put in that truck, and then coming out of that truck and just killing the two guys.
Oh,
and
yeah, with the hood
popping
on.
his thing off,
Yeah.
removing his hood and going in. I enjoyed that. Watch it again if you catch the boat on the Thames when they're driving away from the MI6. The unnatural filming light source coming off the dashboard of the boat.
Oh, this is a
so alarming. to me.
M-loft.
This is a loft. This is a Myra's. Look out for this. Look out for the light coming off the dashboard to light their faces so that MI6 people can see who's driving the boat.
I see.
Yeah, helicopter crash. I like how good of a shot James is in this movie. It's very Octopussy-like, as I discussed last time we did a movie when he was just really great at shooting an Octopussy. Like, go back and watch Octopussy again, Matt. I know I don't have to ask you to, but
You don't. It's also worth mentioning in the corrections department that the plane thing is cleared up. If you put that fin down, it lifts the tail, which points the plane downwards. That's why the plane goes down if you lower the flap in the rear. So it does cause lift, but it's lifting the tail, which points the plane down, which makes a plane go down.
Gotcha.
Someone explained it very
Thank
well.
you.
Sorry, this was something we were struggling with before.
we struggle a lot, honey.
All right. So should we rate this film?
I guess so. Do you have any final thoughts on Spectre?
Let me consult my notes.
Thank you. I told her that we were taking notes.
Yeah, we had some
about 95% of the way through the movie.
I do like some of the repartee in the end between M and C.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. scene.
When C says M stands for moron,
Yeah.
and then M says now we know what C stands for, careless.
Shouldn't they have taken out careless? And I think that undercuts the joke.
It does
there.
undercut it,
Yeah.
but it's also like joyful that M won't go there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Because you
M's
don't want
not-
him to be super badass like
Yeah.
James Bond.
Did you have any desire for him after he reveals he has the bullets to say, "I know where you keep your gun" as a
Yeah,
nod?
of course.
But that's probably
course.
too neat.
I also feel bad that M didn't get the chance to kill him.
Yeah,
He
it seems like they
kinda
should
did.
have had
he
him
didn't.
pull the trigger.
He's too far away to save him or anything, and he falls just because of the
He falls because they're
the
struggling.
glass shatters.
No, because they're struggling, and he just kind of steps away from him.
to get away from what? I
He-
forget. I was watching.
I think
it last
he
night,
basically
I thought,
lets him die.
yeah. I love Tanner coming over and saying he's dead.
There's
Yeah.
also another exchange, and I didn't write down who says it, but someone says, then I'm going to bring, I think Bond says, then I'm going to bring you in, and then someone else says, on what grounds? And he says, poor taste in friends.
Oh, that's M.
Oh, that's
says
M
that to
saying
C.
it to
Saying it to C,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
they
taste
have
in
a good,
friends.
they have a good
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah,
in the
that's a
end
good
there.
scene. Yeah.
It is weird that he has a gun at his desk as C.
Is
Yeah.
it weird though?
It's not weird because he knows he's doing some shady stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess so. And also, when are we all going to learn not to keep our guns in our top drawers?
I keep it right on my.
Yeah, it's in a glass case.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay, yeah.
So what we do is we rate these films.
You know who would have been great as C? Sorry to get back to that. Robinson.
the black guy
Yeah.
from the
From the
Brosnan
Brosnan
movies.
ones.
Yeah, he would have been good.
Like, to bring him in as Robinson, and now he's taking over?
Yeah, he's been promoted.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
All right.
I have to say, I'm unsure about Madeline Swan's dress at the Villain's Lair.
Well,
I
that's
just wanna
kind of
throw
nice,
that out
right?
there.
Because she didn't pick it out.
Isn't it a slip? Doesn't it cover her slip?
Yeah, I don't know. I understand the villain bought that for her. However, I just am unsure about the choice.
You know, there's a segment in the original draft when Irma Bunt was his sidekick, and there's a little section of the script that says, "Here's your dress," and she goes something like, "How do you know what size it is?" And she goes, something like, "I can tell a woman's body," or something like that. So she kind of like is looking her up and down and sized her up.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because it feels like that dress was just like kind of an interesting dress, but it wasn't like sometimes you might think, he picked out something that's like really revealing or put her in something odd, but it just was kind of like, I don't know, like a dress I would see like someone wearing to like a cocktail party in Orange County.
That's why it makes me think it's his little like nerdy sidekick guy that picked it out for her. He doesn't really understand.
That thought it was like the height of couture.
My wife told me you'd like this.
She would like this, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't like that dress that much.
Okay. All right. So we rate this film from 3 zeros to 007, 007 being best.
We should call the segment where we talk about clothing thoughts.
Clothing thoughts, yeah.
Nope, we shouldn't do that.
No, we should. We should.
All right. Who would like to go first with their rating? Triple zero is the worst you've ever seen. 007, that's
so what's in between?
Any number.
3.5.
3.5.
I see. Okay.
Like the mid-range.
Sure.
Yeah, I go.
I'm going to go 005.
Wow.
Yeah, because I really like the train scene. I really like the doctor.
Yeah.
And I think it has some really good. I love Daniel Craig. So if Casino Royale is a 007 for me, this is a 005.
Okay. Wow.
Interesting.
I'm going to go 004.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's fair too.
Man,
I'm doubting myself a little here.
I'm going 003 on this movie.
I was going to do 002.5, but I think it's fair to say I will join you there and do 003.
003. It's a little worse than average.
Yeah.
For us. But entirely watchable. As are all the worst James Bond movies.
It is still the one I put on to test like home theater speakers or whatever. Yeah. That opening sequence is pretty.
I like an Apollo 13 launch.
I know you do.
Yeah.
So we now just have to pick the next film. This is your choice. I chose Spectre.
Yeah.
So what would you like to do?
Well, buckle up, Matt, because we are taking a journey. And we're taking a journey to the new millennium.
Wait, new millennium?
Yeah, that's right. With the James Bond movie that was for the new century. 1999 into 2000.
Oh, no.
That's right. The world is not enough. You tricked me last time by saying we did it already.
We've done it.
And I believed
We've done it. Why are we doing it twice?
Buckle up, buddy. We are watching Pierce Brosnan's greatest performance in a dive. The world is not enough.
All right.
This is where we really see M take it to a whole new level as a character
there you have
in these
it.
Films.
Also, a bit of an announcement. The Great Knick Knack Tabasco t-shirts should be available, I believe, Monday on podswag.com by our friend of the show, Ibrahim Mustafa, who did us a great, great drawing. You're going to love these. Check them out.
If you have always wanted to wear Harvey Villachez on your shirt,
and I know you have.
Frankly, now you can.
Amanda, Doree, thank you so much, A, for doing this, but for being our wives despite all of this.
It's so true.
You're so welcome.
My pleasure.
Do you guys have anything you'd like us to change about ourselves?
Now's the time. This is your last and only time.
No, you're both perfect.
Okay.
Wow, thank you.
Yep.
Doree, you may now speak.
I agree.
Anything you want
to promote? Amanda, would you like to?
Check out the big ones.
That's right.
My podcast with fellow Casino Royale lover Maria Blasucci.
I think we're going to try to do a crossover sometime where we take a dilemma from one of the Bond movies, talk about it on there. For instance, we talked about doing the self-romance thing, but maybe the Vesper Lind conundrum is a good thing. What do you do if you're Vesper Lind?
I know, that's so hard. Yeah, we discuss big moral quandaries and
that's a good one,
personal
actually.
dilemmas.
Yeah, we should do the Vesper Lind, and we could do it, release it in both feeds.
Perfect.
Oh, I like that. We've done that.
Yeah.
A double
That
hitter.
before.
Yeah, so-
And Doree has a podcast.
I do. I have a new podcast called Forever 35 that's all about self-care. I do it with my friend Kate Spencer. I don't know what her opinion is on Casino Royale, but I will ask.
Assume she loves it.
Okay.
We tried. I would love to get you and Kate on
Yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time.
I know.
And really, like, if we could do a big round table.
A crossover of like James Bond skincare.
Oh,
You could do like a men's skincare episode and cross it over with.
I would love that. They have men's cologne or like
Yeah,
I have a
we talk
bottle
a
of it
lot
at home.
about skincare. We talk about nutrition. I talk about cleaning out my office.
It's really
a
about
real
self-care. How
treat.
do you guys feel about self-romance? Do you think it would ever be okay to just take a gondola ride by yourself?
Oh, I thought you were just talking about masturbation.
No.
It's very similar.
Yes, yes.
I agree.
A gondola ride by yourself, just anything by yourself.
I
I think
agree.
is
I agree
is
too.
completely.
great.
Matt, you don't agree?
Listen, we'll talk about it eventually.
And Matt and I also have a podcast.
That's true.
Yeah.
Matt and Doree's Excellent Adventure.
If you want to hear my wife and I every week going through the hell that is IVF, well, buckle up because there's a podcast out
God
there.
bless you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.